Namaste and welcome back to Waking Up with Mindful Surrender Yoga. We're going to pull another concept from the jar and attempt to talk on it impromptu without any notes or any previous idea of what this topic will be about. And I will do that within a certain time frame. I'm not going to say 4 minutes anymore. Let's say under 8. If we do that, we're doing good from the time I begin talking until the time I end. These concepts are said to be spiritual in nature. Again, I want you to know that spiritual, the word spiritual in itself is a concept or an idea pointing to something that's very challenging to explain or understand with our limited human minds. So are all these concepts in the jar. So whatever you get from me, just take it with a grain of salt. Seek further information from the experts. And more importantly, look inside yourself to see how much I've said resonated. Because that is where the true wisdom lies, in you, as it does in all of us. Whoa, I got 2 little letters for a word. Can you guess what that would be for my concept? I'm going to take a deep breath and exhale. I got me, M-E. What is this concept of me? And I think of all the concepts in the jar, me is probably epitomizes what a concept is. It is just a concept. It is a self-generated concept, or what the psychologists would call a self-concept. But it is a concept, nothing substantial, nothing real, just a pointer that points to something that isn't real, okay? And what that pointer, me, is pointing to is this idea we have of who we are. We see ourselves too often in this world as separate little entities, separated by the borderlines of our body because we are immersed in the idea that the physical is our only reality. So we identify this me as the body we are in. And my body is distinct and different from your body, therefore I am separate from you. My body is distinct from that which created me, whatever my dogma or doctrine allows me to believe created me, and therefore I am separate from the source. So I am a separate little physical entity walking around this planet, doing what it does, being what it believes it is meant to be, the roles it takes on, the personality, a sum of learned experiences full of likes and dislikes, preferences and aversions. This little me is the body as well as the personality. Me often refers to the personality. It is the persona we allow others to see so they will validate who we are. And it's that me that we look at in the mirror and ask the question, who are you? And we often stop at the meanness of our experience, at the physicality of our experience, or at the mental physicality of our experience. So I'll bring up the koshas again. In yoga, there are said to be 5 koshas, or 5 sheaths of the human being. There is the physical sheath, which is the body that we see. Beneath that, there is the energy body, which allows the body to work. And we all know by now that everything is energy, right? So all the electrons, oops, that's my cat fanning the camera. All the electrons and all the electrical charges and whatnot, and the vibrating energy that makes the electron, the quarks and leptons and bosons that allow the electron to be what it is and the proton to be what it is. Those are, oh my goodness, she's got a big fluffy tail and she keeps putting it in front of the camera. So allows everything is energy, basically, is what I'm trying to say, underneath the physical body. Everything that allows for physical phenomena comes from an energy source that we do not understand yet with our limited human minds as well. And beneath the energy body, we have the mental formations, or the mental body, which are our mental formations, as Patanjali would refer to them. Our thoughts and our feelings, our ideas, our opinions, and more importantly, which have the greatest effect on our life experience, our core beliefs, the beliefs that are stuffed in our subconscious layer, from years of conditioning. and they generate a certain experience of our lives. We also have beneath the mental body the knowledge body, jhana body, which is the wisdom body, the body of truth. Not just what we know conceptually, but what we know experientially, what we experience experientially. And from there, we have the deepest core, in the core of who we are, which is the Ananda body, or the bliss body. Satchitananda reigns in that body. The soul reigns in that body. When we identify as me, we're not even looking at the energetic body, because most of us would say that energy is just woo-woo, and we're so wrapped up in the physicality of our world, because we're dominated by that doctrine that says, if I can't taste it, see it, feel it, hear it, or smell it, it isn't real, right? We depend as physical beings so much on the sensory input. Our body's major focus, when we get a little deeper into our understanding of things, we realize, is to pick up sensory input so that we can interpret it and understand it. So our sensory system is probably the most important thing in our bodies, as far as the Ananda Kasha would say. So we are physical beings, and we see ourselves as physical beings when we're me. We don't see ourselves. You don't see the other layers that much. We may, as we progress on our journey, delve into the mental body and start looking, oh my gosh, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling, this is experiencing, this is influencing or impacting my life experience as well, this mental body. And then we'll think, okay, I'm getting deep now because I'm into the psychology of who I am. But of course, who we really are beyond this meanness, because that's still the psychology of who I am, is basically the meanness. And psychology tends to focus on the me. It tends to focus on what's going wrong with the me. How do we fix the me? How do we make the me happier? Has no inclination whatsoever to eliminate the me from our experience, so we can see beyond to the knowledge body, or better still, the Ananda body of who we truly are. So this idea, or this concept of me, keeps us stuck in the first two layers, or the first and the third layer of our understanding of the body, understanding of what the human is. And once we start to delve into the deeper essence of who we are, we'll have to transform from me into the energetic body. So we start looking at energy. And then we need to, of course, get into our mental body and realize we're not our personalities, or these ideas and thoughts we have as well that we get so identified with, right? We're not our beliefs or our dogma or our doctrine. This me really isn't that important. And so there's a wonderful expression in the Bible, as well as in spirituality, all other forms of spirituality, including yoga. We need to die to be reborn. And so when we progress into the knowledge stage, or the truth stage, wisdom stage, or wisdom level of who we are, sheath of who we are, the body of who we are, and from there into the Ananda body, we have to let go of the me. And that's very terrifying, is it not, to let go of this who we think we are? What will happen if I go deeper? What will happen if I'm no longer this me? Then I'll cease to exist. If I'm no longer this body or this personality, I, who I believe myself to be, will cease to exist. But if we do progress into that fourth stage, that fourth level of who we are, we will see actually that we were never the me. The me was just a self-concept, just like the concepts in the jar, meaning nothing, pointing to something that wasn't real. And who we truly are can only be found when we venture into the fourth and fifth sheath of the human being. I'm having some technical difficulty, as you can see here, so I guess I've talked over the 8 minutes anyway, but I'm hoping that makes sense. Me is not who you are. So I often have a tendency to call myself this human I call me, because it's just a title I give myself. It is not who I am. I am much deeper than that. I am everything. I am that I am is the way that God defines himself in the Old Testament to Moses. And that is that way for a reason. We are all much greater than we realize we are. And the me is limiting us, it's preventing us from seeing that. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day and namaste.